Instagram have slowly started to roll out monetization features on the platform in beta with the likes of Instagram livestream badges and IGTV ads. On top of this, there is an affiliate program that seems to be on the way very soon, as we found from some very clever people on Twitter. However, if you want to earn money with these features and generate an income from your audience, you're going to have to be in compliance with the Instagram partner monetization policies and the Instagram content monetization policies. Otherwise, kiss goodbye to that beautiful passive income that you could be earning from your content. So today I'm going to go over all of these policies in depth, walk you through them all, read them out, explain them, and give my thoughts, opinions, and narration on it. Now, it is important that you listen and act on this information now, as if you make mistakes now, that could lead to you not even being eligible for monetization when it does roll out, as some of these terms you're going to see in a moment mention that if you've done bad things in the past, you won't be accepted into the programs. Anyway, I've got my coffee, let's dive into it. So firstly, we're going to take a look at the partner monetization policies, and it says in order for creators and publishers to use monetization or promotional tools on Instagram, including the branded content tool and shopping from creators, they must comply with a set of rules called the Instagram partner monetization policies. These rules apply to accounts, behaviors, and payments. There is a separate set of policies called the Instagram content monetization policies that applies specifically to monetized content. So this will be more relevant to the Instagram TV ads, and if they put ads onto Reels, and if they start bringing in a system similar to what you see on YouTube, that's where these policies, which we're going to look at later in the video, will come more in handy. The ones we're going over first is more just so you can be eligible for things like live stream badges, the affiliate program, and potentially being able to offer a subscription-based premium content on your account, which is a prediction I dropped in a previous video. So the first one here is in order to use monetization or promotional tools on Instagram, your content must reside in an eligible country. Pretty straightforward. You have to live in a country where the monetization is eligible. It does say here that you may lose your ability to monetize if you move to an ineligible location. So if you live in a country where it's eligible, you apply, you start earning money, and then you go traveling and you're somewhere for a month, you may lose your monetization. Or of course, if Instagram changes the eligibility, so if they remove your country. The next one is to comply with the community guidelines. Pretty straightforward. No hate speech, no violence, no sexual content, or basically anything that goes against the community guidelines, including their policies regarding intellectual property, authenticity, user safety, and all of these things. So if you're breaking community guidelines, obviously you're not going to get monetized. Now the next one is comply with our content monetization, which we're going to look at soon. Share accurate information. So creators and publishers posting content flagged as misinformation and false news may be ineligible or may lose their ability to monetize. You can read more about this here. So yeah, pretty much stay away from crazy claims which could be incorrect. Make sure everything that you're posting is true, accurate, and has data behind it. And probably avoid talking about vaccines because they definitely don't like those, or conspiracy theories that are really against them as well. But this probably also goes further to any big financial or health claims, although they don't seem to be as stringent and as picky on those. I've seen a lot of people making very small claims around things like vaccines or conspiracies. It get pulled right away, whereas some people can make insane claims about health or making 1% daily in the stock market and like ridiculous things that are obviously not true, but they don't even get looked at. Now the next one is an interesting one, monetizing authentic engagement. So creators and publishers can only monetize content consumed by their natural authentic audience. This means creators and publishers may not engage in any behavior that artificially boosts views or engagement. This includes manufactured sharing, which is coordinated distribution of content, often for compensation. Creators and publishers may lose the ability to monetize if their audience consists of fake engagement, including but not limited to likes, follows, and views. So if you're using engagement groups, you will likely not be allowed into the monetization program when it rolls out, which is not going to be great. So you can only earn an income on views that come authentically, which is the first part. But if say 20% of your views come inauthentically from engagement groups or something like that, only 80% of your views will be monetized, which is pretty much the same as how YouTube works. You've got monetized views and non-monetized views. However, if a large proportion of your audience, so maybe if half of your audience or half of your engagement is coming from engagement groups, which for a lot of people is the case, you're not even going to be allowed to monetize anything. So yeah, focus on building a real community that engage with you because they love your content, rather than people who are just engaging because they're in an engagement group. Next one is follow our payment terms. Monetized creators and publishers must comply with Instagram's rules for making and receiving payments. We have a quick look at that. So when you make payments through Facebook products, you agree that we may communicate with you electronically any important information regarding that. Yeah, so you can read up on this if you want. I assume it's pretty basic stuff. If you are under the age of 18, you may use payment features through the Facebook products only with the involvement of your parent or guardian. Make sure you review the payment terms with your parent or guardian so that you both understand your rights and responsibilities. Interesting. So if you're under 18 and want to be monetized, you will need your parent to help you out. Now, next one, developer and established presence. Creators and publishers must have an authentic established presence on Instagram. This also includes maintaining a sufficient follower base. So you're going to have some kind of audience. I think I talked about this in my previous video. I don't know whether this means you have to have 1,000 followers, like on YouTube, 1,000 subscribers. Maybe you need 10,000, maybe you need 100,000. Maybe it's a mix of different things, and they weight your followers, average likes, average comments, average view duration, and sort of give you a score. And if you meet the right score, I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, but you are going to have a decent follower base. Then follow our rules for politicians and governments. I assume this isn't going to be relevant to many of you, but current elected and appointed government officials who are subject to applicable government ethics are not eligible for monetization features. So, Cindy, you're not going to be earning from Instagram monetization. Sorry about that. You're going to have to stick to earning from your job. They do add that, however, in the United States, a branded content tool may be used in branded content posts if the paying partner has been authorized to run ads about social issues, elections, or politics with a connected Facebook page. And then lastly, the point that I touched on in the intro, avoid systemic violations. Monetized creators and publishers and those that have not been onboarded to a monetization product may lose the ability to monetize if an entity connected to it has repeatedly violated these policies. So if you've consistently been violating these policies in the past, you've been abusing engagement groups, you've been sharing inaccurate information, you don't have a following, you don't comply with the monetization policies. I don't think the country one will be a big one, but if you constantly have violated some of these, then you may not even be eligible to apply, or if you do apply, you're just going to get blocked right away. So that pretty much there is the Instagram partner monetization policies. Now let's take a look at the content monetization policies, which is going to be more relevant for the upcoming Instagram TV ads, and if they're going to start paying creators for ads in the feed or ads in the Reels tab, similar to TikTok or YouTube or something like that. Let me grab another sip of the coffee and we will be right into it. Okay, so Instagram content monetization policies. We offer features and products that help creators and publishers earn money from their content. This content has to follow certain rules. All content on Instagram must comply with our terms and community guidelines. These are our high-level rules against sexual, violent, profane, or hateful content. However, content appropriate for Instagram in general is not necessarily appropriate for monetization. Creators and publishers need to adhere to our partner monetization policies, which we just looked at before, and content monetization policies, which we're about to look at now, in order to make money from their content. Your content itself must follow these guidelines in order to be eligible for monetization. If your video complies with our content monetization policies, advertisers can prevent their ads from appearing in sensitive content. For examples of subjects that are sensitive to advertisers, please review our guidelines for advertiser-friendly content. So basically, Instagram have got their community guidelines, and just because your content fits inside the community guidelines, it does not mean it is necessarily monetizable. There is content that you post that can get you banned because you're breaking the community guidelines. There is content that you can post that fits within the community guidelines but won't be monetizable, which will make sense when we start looking at these next things here. So, prohibited format. So content presented in the following formats cannot be monetized. Static videos, so if you just upload an image and make it a 5 or 10 second video, like you see a lot of the time on TikTok, you won't be earning an income. Static image polls, so same thing but with a poll. Slideshows of images, so just a bunch of different images, not really a video. Looping videos, so content that you're looping multiple times to stretch it out. Text montages, content that primarily displays still or moving images with overlaid text. So again, it's something that you see a lot of on TikTok, where someone might have like a 3 or a 4 second video and they've got a massive block of text to try and get people to watch it 2 or 3 or 4 times over technically, because it might take them 15 seconds to read. It's a 4-second clip. That won't be monetizable. Embedded ads, content that already includes embedded ads where Instagram offers ad placements. So if you're already doing brand deals, that may not be eligible for monetization. So pretty much this is rather straightforward. If you're posting images as a video or looping videos or anything that isn't really quality, then you're not going to be monetized. It seems like monetization will mostly come to creators who are producing quality videos that keep people on the platform for a long time, and any sort of really low effort content that is not really adding much will not be monetized. Now, moving on to prohibited behaviors. The following behaviors may trigger reduced or restricted monetization for your content. Content that incentivizes people to click on a link or respond to a post through likes or comments. So I guess no saying like double tap for this or like so that something bad doesn't happen or so on. Soliciting engagement, so content that requests compensation in exchange for extreme behaviors such as consumption of inedible substances, showing graphic concepts, content consumption of drugs, disrobing or other sexual behavior. So I guess that trend where people would drop their robe and go see their partner, which went viral on TikTok. You're not going to be earning money from that on Instagram. Yeah, funny how they've actually pointed that out, because I feel like that's only a very, maybe I've missed something here and I'm thinking, but I assume they're referencing that trend on TikTok. So clearly they're not a fan of that. And fair enough, I guess advertisers may not want to run ads to that. So yeah. And that's something you'll notice a lot of the time with this stuff. Just pretty much create content that advertisers would be happy to advertise on. So if it's violent content, advertisers don't want to advertise on it. If it's super sexualized content, advertisers aren't going to want to pay for that. If it's all of these different things, if it's just a random image with a bunch of text on it, advertisers don't want to pay for that. So create content that advertisers are willing to advertise on. It's pretty straightforward. Now, restricted categories, content that depicts or discusses subjects in the following categories may face reduced or restricted monetization. So debated social issues, so content may be subject to reduced or disabled monetization if it depicts or discusses the following subjects in a polarizing or inflammatory manner: race, gender, national origin, age, political affiliation, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, socio-economic class, religion, or immigration. So if you've got a polarizing view on one of those things, then again, they're not going to monetize it. Again, this pretty much just goes along with what I was just saying. Advertisers are less likely to want to run an ad if you've got an extremely polarizing view on one of these topics, as it's not going to look good for the advertiser. So again, it sort of fits into that category and makes sense. Also, I know some people especially on TikTok, will purposely create extremely polarizing views that they may not necessarily believe with on some of these subjects to try and get a ton of views. And so I guess Instagram are not monetizing it, so people aren't doing that for profit, where they're just purposely trying to annoy and infuriate a huge amount of people to get a huge amount of engagement and views, and therefore make a lot of money. So Makes sense. Next part, tragedy or conflict. Content may face reduced or disabled monetization if it displays or discusses events that result in suffering, destruction, or distress. Depictions or discussions of these subjects, either real or fictional, may affect monetization for your content. So, if your content discusses these subjects in an explicitly uplifting manner, may still be eligible for monetization. Death, physical injury, mental disabilities, illness, physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, property damage. Okay, pretty straightforward again. Interesting how they say if it's if you discuss it in an explicitly uplifting manner. I'm not sure how you explain death in an explicitly uplifting manner, but that'll be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what they mean by that. I guess maybe if you have a positive spin and you've got a positive message on some sort of abuse, maybe you're shedding light on it and trying to use your story to help people or inspire people or show them that they're not alone, or some sort of, if you're using it in a positive way to help people, I guess they're going to monetize it. If you're using your experiences or trying to help people, which I guess is good, that's potentially positive content on the platform, and I guess that makes sense for it to be monetized. Now, objectionable activity. So content may face reduced or disabled monetization if it displays or discusses substance abuse or criminal behavior. Depictions or discussions of these subjects, either real or fictional, may affect monetization for your content. Substance abuse, threats, advocating for harm, trafficking, theft, vandalism, trespassing, corruption, fraud, bribery, insider trading, embezzlement, hacking, copyright infringement, or judicial proceedings. I guess my insider trading I've been doing on Robinhood, I better keep it off Instagram if I want to be making those bans. Just kidding, Inland Revenue, don't come for me. That was a joke. A joke. But again, it's pretty much common sense, a lot of this stuff. Like, don't post crazy content that is promoting either bad things or illegal things, which in some cases are the same, in some cases are not, because you're not going to get monetized. Now, we're almost done with this, but we've got sexual or suggestive content. So content may face reduced or disabled monetization if it contains sexual subject matter. Depictions or discussions of these subjects, either real or fictional, may affect monetization of your content. Nudity, sexual activity, sexual poses, suggestive dancing, simulations of sexual activity, sex objects, suggestive language, or revealing or absent items of clothing. So, again, same thing. Advertisers are not going to want to advertise on this content, or the majority of advertisers, sorry. There will be some that will want to advertise on this content, especially those in said industry. They're more likely to do the influencer marketing, where they just pay them to make videos with their content, or they are likely to try and get them in the affiliate program, which I'm sure that'll be interesting, actually. I wonder if sexual creators who are in that industry and are promoting products will be able to promote products in their industry as an affiliate and earn a commission. Because if they're against the content guidelines but they're promoting relevant products, that'll be interesting. I guess only time will tell with that. But yeah, majority of advertisers don't want to run ads on this content, regardless of whether it's on Google, YouTube, Facebook, so TikTok, Instagram is going to be no different. So strong language, don't swear, no derogatory words, slurs, sexual words, innuendos, crude gestures, vulgar motions. Stay away from all that. Pretty common sense. Explicit content, so content may not be monetized if it displays or discusses gore or bodily conditions. So wounds, infections, bodily fluids, medical procedures, food processing. What? I guess there's those viral videos of creating food. I guess that's a weird one, but yeah, makes sense. Extreme body modification, bodily functions, ingesting, decay, infestation. Pretty much what I've just been talking about before, misinformation. So content that has been rated false by a third-party fact checker. We covered that in the partner monetization, so stay away from pretty much conspiracies, vaccines, and yeah, I've seen lots of people make crazy claims in health outside of vaccines, And regarding to like investing and making money online, there are a lot of scam artists, especially in the crypto and forex industries, that have never been touched. So it seems like this is just for vaccines, government stuff, and what was the other one I said? Conspiracies. Misleading medical information, so content that contains medical claims that have been disproven by an expert organization, including but not limited to anti-vaccination claims. Just covered that. Original content. Creators and publishers can only monetize content that they created or were involved in the creation of, or that directly features the creator or publisher. Content that is unoriginal or reproduced without making meaningful enhancements. Commentary, so like this video here, other people's content, adding my commentary. Parody, I'm a bit of a funny guy, I make a lot of parody style videos. Creative editing, my editing is not very creative, I'll be honest. That's why I've got an awesome editor behind the camera right now. Well, not behind the camera, but that helps me with my videos. It cannot be monetized. So yeah, if you're reposting content or stealing content, otherwise known as, you're not going to be monetized, and fair enough. Hopefully what they do is they do a similar system to YouTube, where if you steal content and you post it, ads will still run on it and it will go to the original creator. I'm not sure if they will have that. They may not have that right away. It might be a feature they add, but that would be good because then the original creator gets paid for their work, which is how it should be, similar to how music works and all of that stuff. So if you're not already creating original content, go out there and start. Now, if you're a theme page or like a repost account, you might think that you can't do this, but in fact you definitely can. You just need to get creative, potentially hire an editor, or learn how to create content yourself, or even repurpose content, whether it's adding commentary or putting clips together and having, I don't know if you've seen, there's lots of those YouTube videos where they put lots of clips together similar to Jake Tran, and then he adds commentary in the background, so he adds a voiceover with other people's clips and he gets monetized. So there is lots of creative ways around this. Then lastly, politics and government. So that pretty much wraps up the partner monetization and the content monetization policies on Instagram. Some of it is new, some of it is, things that you might not have picked up on. The rest of it is pretty much common sense. But if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something out of it, let me know in the comments. Let me know what was the most surprising feature to you. How excited are you for this? And that's pretty much it. If you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to get my free Instagram training, I will link that down below. After you've gone through the training, you'll be added to my weekly email newsletter where I send out valuable insights based around Instagram marketing and building your audience. That's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you all next time.